Welcome to the Senior Hour. The following is paid programming and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Good morning and welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care and Advanced Audiology. I'm Barbara Cochran, and my co-host Dr. Jean Dorio won't be here this morning. So anyway, we're on our hometown station, 98.1 FM and AM 1220 KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And who's here this morning? The one and only Dr. Thomas Pilecki.
It's good to be here.
Yes, how are you?
I'm awesome. I'm on the air and live. So
And
that's a good
kicking.
start.
No, not kicking. Not
No,
yet.
no,
Not
no,
kicking.
no. That was this morning. I get up at 4:30 every morning and do my martial arts. So that I got that out of my system. Good for you.
Thank goodness, because you're sitting right next to me. Normally, Dr. Dorio's between me and you.
Right.
So, what are we talking about this morning?
Well, I'd like to talk, since it's just us, I'd like to talk to you about things that you have firsthand experience with. Arthritis, blood pressure, chiropractic, neuropathy. I think that's going to be a pretty well-rounded show as far as what you've been through and what you've experienced and why you keep having me back on the show.
Well, that's a good idea. So, where do we start?
Well, let's start with arthritis because this is all of those things are first your firsthand experience you can speak to, but certainly major situations for the overwhelming majority of your audience. They're dealing with all of those conditions. Well, maybe not the neuropathy, but at some point.
Arthritis.
Yeah, definitely
Because
arthritis.
there are so many types. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And way too often, people are led to believe, and sometimes they're led by their doctors to believe that, it's just part of getting older. There's nothing that really can be done about it. Here, just take these medications when it gets too uncomfortable. And that is one way to look at it, but causes a lot of people a lot of unnecessary suffering. And we can talk about that. I mean, there are so many recalls and class action suits and drugs that are pulled off the market that are designed to hit that target audience, and it's problematic at best. Just the over-the-counter medications that people think are perfectly harmless and safe are anything but.
That's right.
And I have patients who come in telling me that, the only way I can make it through the night is by taking at least 10 Advil. And I know, I'm amazed that they're even there.
Alive.
And they've been doing this for years because the prescription medications, they can't tolerate, and all of the things that they've been through just haven't worked for them. So they literally don't sleep at night. They're in constant pain, and they're taking dangerous levels of over-the-counter medication just to survive. And it doesn't have to be like that.
No, I would agree. And it's interesting because I've had arthritis for years, absolutely years. But I would say probably 25, 30 years. And it gradually got worse, of course, as I got older. And I was diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis. That's one particular kind. And that manifests itself in crooked fingers, pain in the joints, crooked toes. You look at my toes, they're the funniest looking toes you've ever seen. I mean, they're all curled up and turned sideways, and they got big lumps on them. And I have a hard time wearing closed-toe shoes. Consequently, I don't.
Right.
But my arthritis, I finally went to an arthritis doctor. I don't know what you call them. There's a name for 'em.
Rheumatologist.
Rheumatologist, that's right. And was recommended that I take methotrexate. Well, I took one shot a week for 6 years. And suddenly they quit making it, so it wasn't available to me. Well, about 3 months into this lack of methotrexate, I started having severe chest pains. And I thought, whoa. And I thought it was, maybe something I'd eaten, And I finally went to the doctor. And the doctor took the CAT scan and said, you have cancer. I'm sending you to an oncologist. So I went there, and come to find out I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a possible side effect of methotrexate. But back when I was taking it, no advertisements about it mentioned possible cancer. Now I think they're required to, because I know Enbrel is another one for arthritis, for the type I have. And when you see it advertised, it begins to give you possible side effects.
Right.
And one of them is cancer.
Right.
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I think that is the case now, that all of those drugs that have severe, dangerous side effects have to let the public know. And of course, I had to go through chemotherapy. Well, that posed other problems. Chemotherapy gets rid of that bad stuff, but it also plays the dickens with the rest of your body. I ended up, as a result of that, with neuropathy. And that is very, very uncomfortable. I've moved out of it now thanks to you and giving me adjustments. And no, you don't do adjustments. You do the machine.
No, I do. It's confusing to most people. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay.
The adjustments that I give don't twist or crack the spine, which is what a lot of people think. Even most chiropractors think an adjustment is, but we don't do that.
No, I know you don't.
So we do a different kind of adjustment that doesn't require any twisting or cracking of the spine, but gets all of the benefits, maybe even better than the other type. But that's a whole nother concept, a whole nother part of our conversation that I hope we can get to. So you started off with arthritis, took some medication for that. That gave you cancer. You took some medication for that, and that gave you neuropathy. Now, in the meantime, you'd been treated for years also for blood pressure. However, I'd like to have you talk to you about your experience with the kind of adjusting, the no twist, no crack adjusting that we do in our office.
Well, that's right. And consequently, my blood pressure is at a normal rate now.
But when you came to me,
It wasn't.
It wasn't. It was
No.
real bad.
It was
Real
very
high. Very high.
Yes.
So those are that's the reason I picked these topics is because you experienced it all in my office. The treatment, the resolution of all of those conditions.
That's right.
And none of it was with the drugs that were causing more and more serious side effects as you started, moving through. It was trade one disease for another and trade one disease for another. And they were all pretty much caused by the treatments that you were getting prior to working with me.
That's true. Plus the medication.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. So, now I want to talk a little bit because nobody really knows, unless you're a patient of mine, that there is options out there. As far as the supplements, we can talk about that a little bit because I know you're a big fan of my supplement line.
Absolutely.
As far as dietary changes and as far as the type of chiropractic that I do, as soon as you say the word chiropractic, most people think of the violent twisting and cracking that very few people want, very few people like, and very few people feel comfortable with. Even if they do like the result, they don't like that part of it.
No, and I've had that type of
Yeah.
chiropractic before, and I've always felt I'm going to fall off the table.
Right.
You know, and that is a terrifying feeling.
Yeah.
It didn't happen,
Right.
but that feeling was always there. Oops. There's going to be a misadjustment here, and I'm going to fall on the floor
Yeah.
because you're on a table.
Right.
You know, and a fall off off that table would hurt.
Yeah.
Really would.
Yeah, and there's other fears as well. Some people are totally comfortable with it, but whenever I see something in the public about what they don't like about chiropractic, because we're out in the public all the time, and one of the questions we initially ask people is, well, what do you know about chiropractic? Have you had any experience? What do you like? What you don't like? Invariably, even if they do like chiropractic, they don't like the twisting and cracking. And it doesn't have to be that way. We certainly get as good, if not better, results without any of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the hardest part for people to get, especially if they're used to the other stuff. They're like, how could that possibly work? And I said, this is a process, but if you'll trust me for a little bit, I think you're going to be real happy with the outcome. They were like, but you didn't do anything.
But that's not true, because when I've been in your office, you have had clients lying on their back and or lying on their stomach. When they're lying on their back, you manipulate certain parts of the body that are giving them problems,
Right.
usually low back on up, and sometimes the feet. Pull the feet up and twist them and turn them, which I'm assuming reflects all the way to the back.
Yeah, I am not stuck on any one thing. Whatever is causing the tension in that individual is addressed on that visit. So you have seen me work on people's feet, on people's arms, on people's shoulders, on people's knees, on people's hips, because a lot of time there's a lot of stress in those areas, regardless of whether it's in the spine or not. It's causing that person stress, and that causes a problem for everybody. But
That's true.
you still don't have to twist and crack in order to get people better. And that is kind of the confusing part of when I talk to people. I don't even like using the word chiropractic so much, because people immediately associate that with someone's going to grab me and twist
Twist and
me and
turn.
crack me
Right.
and crunch me all different ways. And statistically, 80% of the population don't want that. And I'm one of them. That sounds weird coming from a chiropractor, but my first experience that literally saved my life was not that twisting or cracking. I didn't even know that existed until I was in chiropractic school and I saw what was being taught, and I was like, this isn't chiropractic. And then I realized why there were so many reservations by most people in the public. Like, that's scary, that's dangerous, that's not, real science. And whether that's real or not, it doesn't matter. That's what people believe.
That's right.
And then I saw it and I was like, well, now I know why people don't want this. They didn't have the same experience that I had. When I was 16, I was testing for medical school, probably the most prestigious medical school on the planet, Johns Hopkins. And I woke up one morning and couldn't turn my head. Now, by that time, I had already had 3 surgeries and was on 5 prescription medications year-round, because I grew up in a medical family, and that's
Right.
just the way things were taken care of. So I go in, and within a short period of time, even though I totally do not understand what this is all about, I got better. Like within 3 months, I was off of all my prescription medications, and all of my lifelong medical conditions were gone in 3 months. And that's what really turned me around. I walked away from Johns Hopkins in order to pursue this because a lifetime of very good, very competent, very high level medical care never produced that result for me. Never even came close. And here's this person who at that time, this is back in the early 80s. There's no internet. There's no chiropractors with billboards. There's no social media. There's what's in the library and what your doctor says is it. That's
right.
pretty much it.
That's right.
There weren't even drug commercials back then. You didn't see
No.
commercials for any kind of medication. Sure,
Not
you
at
saw
all.
the over-the-counter. There was always the St. Joseph's and Bear Aspirin
Oh,
and
yeah.
Alka-Seltzer. You knew
Yes.
that stuff. But when it came to real serious health conditions, there were no prescription medication commercials at that time. So you had to literally go to your doctor, and the doctor would tell you, okay, here's what's wrong with you and here's what you need. And so I did that time and time and time again. And within a very short period of time, I was on 5 prescription medications and had 3 surgeries. And then I meet this guy who we don't even consider a real doctor. And he's talking to me about, well, the body is self-healing and all you have to do is eat the right foods and get the right exercise. But most importantly, all of the stress has to be taken out of the central nerve system in order for everything to run right. I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense, but whatever. As long as you can make me feel better, I'm okay with it. And
That's right.
within a very short period of time, my headaches were, I was a chronic migraine sufferer. I remember going to the nurse's office in kindergarten with migraines. So it was a lifelong condition. So when I went there with my neck problem, and he told me that, well, I found stress in your neck, and this has been here your whole life. And I was like, no. I woke up, I've had some neck injuries, but they got better. I just woke up, last week, and I couldn't turn my head. That's why I'm here. He was like, no. He said, I see the evidence that you got a real serious neck injury, and it looks like it happened during the birth process. I was like, how could you tell that? He was like, trust me, ask your mom. I went home, I asked her, and she actually knew. She said, yeah, you were a frontal delivery. And what that means is instead of the back of my head coming out first, I came out face first and almost broke my neck on delivery.
Yes.
And I was like, why didn't you ever say anything? And she's like, well, so? That was the delivery, but that's got nothing to do with your all the health problems you had. I said, according to this guy, it's got everything to do with it. And that caused a little bit of friction. But when I got better, they could no longer ignore the results. And that's all that matters.
That's right.
I have
Results.
patients who literally call me their voodoo, their witch doctor. I don't care. I'm getting them better when nothing else did. And I don't mind. I don't care that they don't understand because I know that it works. And that's all that really matters as far as I'm concerned.
I couldn't agree more. And I think it's time to take a break. I'm Barbara Cochran on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS.
Do you ever listen, but you're not really paying attention? Sort of like what you're doing to me right now. This is Alex Urbina, your advanced life coach specialist. One of the most frequent questions I hear is, what is a life coach? Well, tune in every Friday at noon to learn the value of having a coach and listen to a live coaching session on the radio. Right here on your hometown station, KHTS.
Comfort Keepers provides your loved one with loving in-home care.
Miles McNamara, certified senior advisor and owner of Comfort Keepers in-home care.
Our caregivers can help you in your own home, enhancing independence, creating safety and comfort. Our Comfort Keepers provide companionship, meal preparation, medication reminders, assistance with personal care, and even transportation to doctor's appointments. If someone you love can use a helping hand at home, visit comfortkeepers.com.
Or call 287-4200.
Mission Valley Bank is a commercial bank in the Santa Clarita Valley that really puts the community into community banking.
At Mission Valley Bank, we strive to be a trusted advisor to our clients, and that means being an integral part of the communities we serve. We started the Give Where You Live program to help bring awareness to our nonprofit partners. We're more than just a local business bank. In fact, we're a full-service, independent commercial bank that is locally owned, community-minded, and relationship-driven. I'm Tamara Gurney, President and CEO of Mission Valley Bank, and I invite you to experience the Mission Valley Bank difference, where your success is our mission. We want to be your most valued bank.
Mission Valley Bank has been named Most Trusted Advisor Business Banker by the San Fernando Valley Business Journal 5 years in a row, and received the Business Leadership Award by the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce, Valley Industry Association, and SCV Economic Development Corporation. Visit them at their Center Point branch location or at missionvalleybank.com. Member FDIC.
Santa Clarita's premier senior living community, Oakmont of Santa Clarita, is leasing, bringing comfort and luxury to assisted living. Seniors can enjoy 5-star amenities, panoramic views, easy access to the freeways, and nearby shopping centers in a world-class community that provides an advanced continuum of care. No other community has this kind of luxury and amenities in our valley. You'll find good health, vitality, and purpose at Oakmont of Santa Clarita. Stop by for a tour. Visit oakmontofsantaclarita.com.
Here's another mortgage tip from your friends at Owning. Lenders must quote you both a rate and an APR. Any difference between these two reflects costs for the mortgage other than interest. Things like points, escrow, title, appraisal, or some baloney fee like $4.95 or $9.95 for, well, just because. So, when a lender says there are no costs, but the rate and the APR don't match, you're not getting an accurate story. At Owning, our 30-year rate and APR today are 3.375%. That's right, our rates and APRs match, so no lowball rate quotes with hidden costs at Owning.
Owning Corporation, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1797976, DRE License 02063270, MLO endorsement. Call 833-852-6464 for terms and restrictions.
30-year money, 3.375% rate and APR at Owning. Call 855-5-OWNING. That's 855-5-OWNING. Or log on to owning.com.
Today for lunch, why not try the Sandwich Shop? Located on Avenue Stanford in Valencia, the Sandwich Shop offers dozens of hot or cold, affordable, premium deli sandwiches. Gourmet soups and salads are also available. Regulars indulge in the Dutch Crunch Roll on the twice-baked baguettes, which is a customer favorite. Top it off with owner Charlie Chong's Chunky Chocolate Chip Cookie. Breakfast and catering is also available. The Sandwich Shop, since 1983, located on Avenue Stanford right off Rye Canyon. ValenciaSandwichShop.com to place your order.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign, next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220. And we're speaking with Dr. Thomas Palaki. And let's continue.
Yeah, it's great to be here. So far we've been talking about arthritis, blood pressure, chiropractic, and neuropathy, something that you know quite a bit about.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, experience trumps book knowledge every day as far as I'm concerned. And what I love about having this discussion with you is your experience with the way that we do things has all been better than your experience with doing things the other way, yeah?
Yes, that's correct.
So let's keep on that vein.
Well, in fact, I was taking gabapentin morning, noon, and night.
Mm-hmm. For your neuropathy. People may not know what that is or why people take that.
Well, neuropathy is a condition, and I understand you can get it in all parts of your body, but mine's in the feet. Mm-hmm. Numbness, tingling, pain, especially when you walk. And then that tingling, it's like pins and needles sticking in your feet. And I was put on gabapentin. 1 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 3 at night. And that sort of helped the situation. It didn't completely get rid of the uncomfortable feelings. Now the only time I take the gabapentin is at night, because that's when, if anything's going to happen, that's when it happens. And unfortunately, you're not open at midnight. But the chiropractic treatment I've had from you has just about eliminated my use of the gabapentin.
That's awesome.
And I think that has been a big help.
It is a big help. And it's not just the chiropractic, although that's a key critical issue that a lot of people are going to miss, because neuropathy is a very fast growing segment of the population. And there's a lot of reasons that neuropathy happens to people, but the most effective treatment protocol is pretty well established at this point. So there's a whole growing segment of the population that is just fed up with prescription medication alone, because that does not help most people, especially people who have serious neuropathy, severe neuropathy, regardless of what caused it or how long they've had it. The medications are rarely more than even as good as your experience. In many cases, they don't even touch it when it's very serious. So people are learning. People are learning about the red light and the pulsed EMF and the supplements and the diet. And even if they do go to a neuropathy specialist and don't get the kind of chiropractic that we do, the results are less than what we're doing for our patients. We have it's still early to start quoting these statistics, but everybody who follows my protocol gets better. We have 100% success, which is unheard of. And it's not a matter of if you're going to get better, it's how much. And the range is, within a very short period of time, anywhere from 60% to 100% better. Now, the neuropathy protocol that we follow, minus what I contribute to it, the chiropractic part, is available through neuropathy specialists around the country, and they charge a lot of money. They charge a lot of money for that. However, they're missing the type of chiropractic that we do in our office, and so they're not getting as good a result.
The other thing, too, I think that helps is some of the supplements
exactly
that you sell at your office. I mean, they're different.
They are. It is different. So let's talk about that, because nearly every neuropathy patient that comes in has a whole bag of supplements, and they swear by it. And I have to carefully approach this, because I don't want them to feel like they made a mistake or anything. But the reality is, it's not working. If you're in my office, it's because what you're doing isn't working.
Absolutely. That's right.
And
exactly.
And then, they show me, I literally have people come in with shopping bags full of supplements, and they're like, oh, this is, and they tell the whole marketing presentation on that product. And this is for this, and this is for this, and this is for this, and this is for this. I'm like, that's great, but you're still here and you still have your problems. So let's see what's not working about it for you. And when I read the stuff, it doesn't matter whether it's, bought at a discount store, or whether they pay a lot of money for online, or they're following this guru online. I get a lot of that. All that boils down to, is it appropriate for them, and is it working? And if they're in my office, I already know it's not appropriate and it's not working. And then we just have to figure out why. And there are some common things. So I'm going to give out this, and normally I don't give out any kind of advice, medical advice, on the air or online or anything. But right now, if people were to look at their vitamins, you go down to the bottom, and the B12 is the one I want you to check. If that says cyanocobalamin, you don't want it. That's all it takes for me to know everything about that formulation that is not okay. And here's why. Regardless of why you may be taking vitamin B12, whether it's because someone told you that you have energy issues, or you have nerve issues, or you have your dietary restrictions require you to have it, the cyano in cyanocobalamin stands for cyanide.
Yes.
Which is, most people know, is poison.
Absolutely poison.
So to take a vitamin that is based on a poison, I think is a horrible strategy. And yet, so many vitamin manufacturers, all the way from the bargain basement vitamins to the very high-end vitamin gurus out there online, are using the cheapest, worst kind of formulations, and it's all just marketing. We have reasonably priced supplements. They are certainly not big box brand supplements, but they are certainly not what I see in some of these so-called specialists' office that are charging obscene fees for their consultations and their recommendations and their actual products. Literally, I've seen products for 10 times what I charge for mine, and mine are at least as good, if not completely better.
Well, aren't yours organic?
Well, some are organic and some are, and I don't really want to get into that too much because that's a confusing issue.
All right.
Sometimes organic is incredibly important, and sometimes it's not even possible with some things. That's neither here nor there. The issue is the quality of the product, the quality of the process, the quality of the delivery system. All that comes into play to give the person the result that they're looking for. They don't care. They don't care about any of that. They just want to feel better.
That's right.
And so many people, so many times come in and say, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And they're all excited about this surgery that they had, or this therapy that they're doing, or this product that they're, and I'm like, that's great. So tell me again why you're here. Well, I have this problem. I was like, well, let's think about that for a second. You know, it's just human nature. You don't want to admit that you made a mistake, and I have to be real careful. I want to support people.
Yes.
But when they start trying to sell me on something that isn't working, I have to draw the line and let them know that, first of all, we're going to do things differently here because what you have done up until this point hasn't been the answer for you. Let's start there. Is that okay?
Yeah, you have to be a gentleman about it.
Yeah.
In other words.
Yeah. So
you don't say, well, what you were doing doesn't work, does it?
No, I used to do that. And that's kind of when you met me, and you didn't like me so much back then.
No,
but
that's very
I've
true, because I stopped
become,
going to
exactly. I've become much more diplomatic in my approach, because I used to just say, well, that's just bad science. That's just not good.
Well, that was because all of your prior knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done a lot of research in a lot of areas.
Well, it's not even that so much. It's not my knowledge. I am so top heavy. Thank you. But I am so top heavy on the knowledge. What I have learned is just accept people where they are and start from there and help them along the process. And it really, really matters to people that you're listening to them and they feel that you are even if it's completely different than all of their experience in the past, that they really feel that you were there for them. And that's the most difficult learning curve I had to go through, because I am not that naturally. I'm an egghead. I'm a researcher. I am a scientist. And when I hear bad science, my knee-jerk reaction used to be to point it out to people, like right up front. Like, no, that is not going to work. Here, let me tell you the 10 mistakes that have been made so far. And that doesn't work so well for people. They don't want to hear that. They don't.
Well, what am I, stupid or something?
No. So that kept me small for a very long time, but I finally learned, and now we're a lot more compassionate, or at least I try to be. Occasionally, that old habit pops through. I try my best not to let it, because that's my nature. Like, no, here, let me show you better. Because I'm really trying to help that person, but it doesn't always come across that way.
No. Well, I forgot about the automobile accident I had too. Remember when my neck was so unbelievably out of whack?
Well, it's a double-edged sword, because that was horrible. That was absolutely horrible. But it did require you to get some more intensive evaluation and some more intensive treatment in my office. And then all of a sudden, you all of your conditions started to improve pretty dramatically, almost immediately.
Yes, they did.
So that was kind of a blessing in disguise. Not that I recommend people go out and get in a car accident in order to get taken care of.
Fortunately, it wasn't my fault, although I was sideswiped.
Yeah.
The car came right into me.
No, it was
from
serious.
The side.
It was a horrible
It was a terrible accident. It really was.
And it did require more intensive evaluation and more intensive treatment.
That's right.
But that's exactly what you needed.
That's right. Because it worked.
Yeah.
Made me better.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's all good.
Yes, and along with the supplements that I get from you, because I get quite a few. I can't name them all right now.
That's okay.
But they seem to be working.
They do. Nobody can guarantee anything in the field of medicine, except that I do guarantee that anything that's on my shelf is the best thing that I could find. And
you've done your research.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. This is not some multi-level marketing scheme. Mm-hmm. There are some great products that are in multi-level marketing, but I can't be involved in any of that because I believe it's a conflict of interest. The products that I found, I take. There are very few products on my shelf that I don't personally use, and that's because they are for very specific conditions that I don't have.
You don't have. That's right.
But otherwise, pretty much everything on my shelf, I am my guinea pig. Like, it doesn't make it to my shelf unless I know I have personal experience that it works. And that's the only way it's going to make it on my shelf. And there are a few things that I carry that are outside of my private line, because I'm medical director for functional diagnostic nutrition, and I get to help hundreds of doctors in America access the care for their patients that they wouldn't otherwise be able to provide for them. So there's that, and I do have a product line base to support that. However, there are some things that my labs can't do a better job than. So I do have some products that are outside of my line on my shelves only because that is the best thing available.
Mm-hmm. Well, the one that has helped me is the one for inflammation.
That's one of mine.
Yes.
And we're actually working on even a better formulation of it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. And another one is for mood.
Mm-hmm.
That has really helped.
That is.
Because it helps relax you.
Yep, we're working on a better version of that as well.
Okay.
As times change, certain things are because of the way the FDA is set up, certain things are available for supplements and certain things are no longer available for supplements. So occasionally we have to change formulations, and I make sure that it's at least as good. These changes that are coming up, the products are actually going to be better.
That's terrific. And I think we need to take a little break.
Awesome.
That's great. I'm Barbara Cochran on your hometown station, AM 1220, 98.1 FM, KHTS.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top quality musicals and plays. Located on Main Street in Old Town Newhall, CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
You just had an accident. You're okay, but worried your car will never look the same. Your vehicle may be the second biggest investment you'll ever make. Give it the care it deserves at Body Shop 661.
Hi, this is Caesar from Body Shop 661. If you had an accident, you get to choose the auto body facility you want. Our full collision repair center works with all vehicles, foreign and domestic, and we handle all insurance companies.
Body Shop 661 off Ruther behind Home Depot.
This is a Rita's Daybreak. There's a huge crowd at Rita's. With so many amazing flavors, every day's a treat. Let's see what folks are celebrating.
I lost my first tooth. No more training wheels. My dog photo got 37 likes.
3 kids, 3 activities, 0 meltdowns. There you have it. Layer it, blend it, or drink it with Italian ice and creamy custard. So many reasons to celebrate at Rita's. This has been a Rita's Daybreak.
Mission Valley Bank is a commercial bank in the Santa Clarita Valley that really puts the community into community banking.
At Mission Valley Bank, we strive to be a trusted advisor to our clients, and that means being an integral part of the communities we serve. We started the Give Where You Live program to help bring awareness to our nonprofit partners. We're more than just a local business bank. In fact, we're a full-service, independent commercial bank that is locally owned, community-minded, and relationship-driven. I'm Tamara Gurney, President and CEO of Mission Valley Bank, and I invite you to experience the Mission Valley Bank difference, where your success is our mission. We want to be your most valued bank.
Mission Valley Bank has been named Most Trusted Advisor Business Banker by the San Fernando Valley Business Journal 5 years in a row and received the Business Leadership Award by the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce, Valley Industry Association, and SCV Economic Development Corporation. Visit them at their Center Point branch location or at missionvalleybank.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Dr. Pilecki. Most people in Santa Clarita get hurt in a car accident every 8 years. Although most doctors will prescribe medication for relief, without specific rehabilitation, even minor neck injuries cause lifelong problems. And Hot Pack Twist and Crack Want Stim with that is neither specific nor rehabilitation. But our custom-tailored treatments are based on Nobel Prize-winning research. If recently injured, you may qualify for no-cost treatment. Read my reviews on Google and get better.
Your hometown station.
It's no secret that KHTS has the best midday talk show lineup around. If you've missed any of your favorites, no problem. KHTS has you covered. Podcasts for all the midday shows can be found right on our website, hometownstation.com. Whether you missed a show from 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years ago, and you want to catch up, we got you covered. They're all right there. Plus extra podcasts too. That's hometownstation.com. hometownstation.com.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Welcome to the Senior Hour. The following is paid programming and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran, and we're on our hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. And we're speaking with Dr. Thomas Pilecki. Hi again.
Yay!
Just you and me, baby.
We got to wrap it up here.
Yes.
We've got like 4 or 5 minutes.
Yes. And what do you want to continue with?
Just to let people know that there are options. There are options even if you're on a fixed income, even if you have HMO insurance, even if you've been told there's nothing that can be done, just, take these medications and this is the best you can hope for. We have options.
Yes, we do.
We have options. We are fighting hard to get some of the Medicare rules changed so that we have a much wider access to the senior population.
Yes.
But I am not holding my breath on any of that. So in the meantime, we are doing everything we can to help as many people as possible. The only requirement that I have is that is what you're really looking for. If you're not prepared to put in some work, put in some effort, change some things about your life in order for you to have a much better quality of life, then this is not the office for you. However,
That's a big however.
Yeah. However, if you're ready not to continuously take more pills and get sicker all the time, if you're ready to not wind up in a situation where you spend more and more money, regardless of your insurance coverage, on the deteriorating quality of your health, then we have options for you. And those are the people with any economic background, with any education background, with any social background that I go out of my way to try to make something work for. And even if it's just listening to this show, even if it's just coming to one of my educational classes, even if it's just going to my website, drpilecki.com, and looking at some of the articles that I post, or even here at the radio station I post articles. And they're all based on the kind of work that we do, the functional approach, because I believe that is what is going to help most people. I've seen what doesn't work for the people who show up in my office, and then we have to start working towards getting them healthy again instead of just giving them more pills to cover up their current emergencies.
And the bad thing about those pills is you get addicted to them.
Well, that is a big problem.
That is a great big problem.
Yeah.
Because we have an enormous opioid epidemic. Narcotics, they're bad. They really are.
The opportunity I see in this for people to have a better life is that because that situation got so out of control, we're no longer considered by the overwhelming majority of people witchcraft and voodoo. Now we're, I don't want to be on opioids for the rest of my life, so maybe I do need to look at nutrition and supplementation and even that crazy chiropractic stuff, as long as they don't have to twist and crack me every time I go there. And that's exactly what we've been doing. I've been doing this type of chiropractic for nearly 30 years.
Good heavens. And you're still in business.
I'm still in business.
And you still have lots of clients.
Not enough. Not enough. I still have a lot of room for a lot of people who don't think they can get help anywhere else.
That's a shame. It really is.
What's a shame? That I can help other people?
No. The people aren't taking advantage of what you have to offer.
Well, people don't know. They see the billboards. I don't advertise. I mean, I come here to.
Have a billboard.
No, I don't have a billboard,
you don't.
and I'm not in the newspaper, and I'm not in the magazine every week or whatever that comes out every month or whatever. So I am almost strictly word of mouth, and this
The radio show.
the radio station and their web presence has helped me quite a bit. Mostly, it's my Google reviews, which are overwhelmingly good. You can't satisfy everybody, but I do have 265 five-star reviews, and for any doctor,
Wow.
that's substantial. And these aren't reviews that I got by buying a person a cup of coffee, give me 5 stars, and say my staff was nice, because you see plenty of those. These are literally life-transforming stories in the patient's own words.
In words, that's right. And that's a tremendous help to you.
Yeah, well, it's why I'm here, in order to help like my life was transformed. I'm the only surviving male in my family, and none of that would have happened if I didn't make a choice to make a different decision on the way that I was going to, first of all, participate in the healthcare system, both as a patient and as a doctor.
Now, how can we get in touch with you?
Probably for this audience, the best way is 661-753-9340.
Thank you very much, Dr. Palucki. It's been a very interesting and informative hour.
Thank you.
Don't you think? Yes. And thanks again for joining us. We're sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care and Advanced Audiology. Join us next week on the Senior Hour. Now go and enhance your quality of life.
Walk you through